Welcome. This tutorial covers the use of automated emails and editing the email templates as part of your HIP Office Lite system. The HIP Office Lite, like the full HIP Office system, uses automated emails to communicate with your customers about different actions as part of your inspection. The HIP Office Lite system is limited to only 2 email templates. These templates are for when an inspection is created and when a report is delivered after the inspection. The full HIP Office system has triggers or different actions that occur during the course of the inspection that cover every step of the process. Now, the templates used by the HIP Office Lite system allow you to include links to send the contract to the customer to sign and links for payment so customers can pay for their inspections. When the inspection is completed and the report has been uploaded, they are sent a link to view their inspection report. These emails could be addressed to clients, agents, and anyone else you want to include in those emails. So we're going to go ahead and look at how to customize your emails and then how those are used in the system. Within the HIP Office Lite system, you can go under Data Management on the left-hand side, and you'll see an entry for Email Templates. On the screen, you'll see at the top, there's the email trigger. And the email trigger are the different events that occur within the HIP Office system that you're able to send emails for. As mentioned, the HIP Office Lite is limited to 2 triggers, one for the inspection booked and one for report uploaded. We're going to go ahead and take a look at inspection booked. Now, by default, the body of these emails is already populated with an example email. You can customize this if you'd like, but it is able to be used out of the box. Below that, you have the to, or who this is going to be addressed to, and by default, it's going to include both client 1 and client 2. Now, if there's only one client on the order, then client 2 will just be ignored. Under the CC, this is anybody you would like to add additionally to the email. You can click there and you'll see the various other people that can be included on the email, such as the buyer's agent, the seller's agent, and ones that are sent just for the company. Often inspectors will include themselves as a CC on the email, and you'll see this under inspector email address. This will send you a copy of this email when it is sent. In addition, you can also put a BCC. There's the subject, which is the subject that will appear on the email. And then below, you have the body of the email. As mentioned, there's an example body included here. To edit the email, you can click in the body, and the editor becomes active. Now, when we look at the email body, we see that there is the text of the email, and then there are different entries that begin with a $sign, and these are variables. The variables allow you to insert pieces of information about the client, the property, the inspection, the agent, that are going to be automatically populated when the email is sent. And so, for example, we have client 1 full name, client 2 full name, your company name, and so on. Now, a full list of variables can be seen on the right-hand side, and you can choose those by clicking in the body of your email and then picking an entry from that list. Now, one of the things you'll see in the body of the email, you'll notice there are entries that have these double curly braces around them. This allows you to do conditional entries based on what the value of the variable is going to appear. In this example, we have client 1 full name, and then in the curly braces, the client 2 full name. What this does is if the variable that is shown here is blank, such as if there is no client 2, then anything that is within the curly braces is not going to appear on the email. So if there is a client 1 and a client 2, it will say, "Hi, Jim and Jane." If there's no client 2, it'll just say, "Hi, Jim." The and the variable name will be skipped. This allows you to make your emails conditional based on what is actually selected as part of the body. Now, with the inspection booked email, this is an email that is sent when the order is created within the HIP Office Lite. And so this is going to send basic information about the order, as well as a link for the contract and any payment information to be collected. And you'll see there are special variables that we see up top where it says attachment/URLs, and then contract and payment link. There's specific variables for the contract payment link or those pieces individually. What this means is that if the contract payment link full variable is included, this is going to have a link in the email the customer can click on, which will then have them sign the contract. Once they've signed, they will then pay for their inspection. Now, you do have the option to do those separately, so there's a link for the contract and then a separate link for the payment. And we can see those in the list of variables at the top: contract payment link, contract link, payment link. This is already included in the body of the email, and you see contract payment link, and then actually in the angled brackets, it says contract and payment link. And this text is actually what's going to appear in the email. So you can change this to whatever you'd like the link to actually say. If you'd like to have those separate, you can clear out the existing text. So I'm going to put in contract link, and you'll see it automatically inserts in the words contract link within the angled brackets. I can then enter in a separate variable. I'm going to do payment link, and that's going to insert a variable there. In addition, you have the option for add attachments at the bottom. And this allows you to add attachments to your emails that are going to be included when the emails are sent out. Now, the attachments should be general, as this is going to go to everyone who receives this email, not just specific customers. This can be used for things such as marketing flyers, additional information, general guidance for the customers, anything you'd like that you'd want to include for the customers. Once you've made your change, you can click on Save, and that saves the changes. In addition to the editing of the email body, there is also an option to use AI, or artificial intelligence, to help you write your emails. To do this, you can click on where it says click here to utilize, and I'm going to put in a prompt for create an inspection introduction email targeted towards users in Cleveland. You can specify the tone of the email and then click on generate. And after a few seconds, it's going to generate a body for the email based on what you've entered in. We can see that below. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that when you generate the email body using AI, you'll want to review this carefully to make sure that it reflects exactly how you want your emails to appear. This is usually used just as guidance of how you want things to appear. If everything looks great, you can click on Insert into Email Editor, and this will insert this text into the email. Otherwise, you can revise your prompt, or if you don't want to use that, you can just go ahead and close. This could be helpful if you're not sure of how you want to word your emails, but you want to have something different. You can play with this to see how you'd want your emails to be reflected. Also, after you have made your emails, you can click on the Preview button, and this allows you to see an example of how the emails are going to appear filled with generic information. And so we see an example based on the current email body that we've created. You see the contract link and the payment link as we described, and this shows exactly how it's going to appear. This can be good to make sure that everything looks proper, especially if you're going to be changing the formatting of the emails. Now, when you're editing the body of the email, you're also able to click into the email editor, and there is additional formatting to change the text, such as bold or italicize the information. You can also insert images into your emails, as well as links, and you can change the font and the size. Now, with your email bodies, you want to be sparing in how much you change the actual font. Bolding and italicizing is not a problem, but not all systems are going to display all fonts the same way, so it's good to make sure your emails are consistent in the body, that they don't have too many different fonts and other formatting. You can then preview to see what it looks like, and if everything looks good, you click on Save. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that if you make changes to your emails, and there are already existing orders that you've created, then any existing orders are not going to have these emails used at that time. This will only be for emails that are used going forward. Let's go ahead and scroll up, and in addition to the email trigger of inspection booked, there is report uploaded. And the report uploaded is for when your report has been completed and uploaded to the customer. This is very similar to how the inspection booked email works, but it is targeted specifically for delivering the report. Everything works here basically exactly the same. The one thing you'll notice is there's a different variable to be used in the report, and that is report link. And this is the actual link the customers are going to click on when they're going to go view their report. So now that the email templates have been customized, we can go see how these are actually used. Now, within the HIP Office Lite system, we can go to an order, and there are two different ways that the emails can be used. So if you are creating orders ahead of time under the new order wizard within the HIP Office Lite, this is going to send an email when the inspection is booked or when you create the order to notify the customer that it's been created. Or if you are creating the orders just by uploading your inspections without creating the order ahead of time, then only the report uploaded trigger is going to be sent. The inspection booked email is not going to be sent. So we'll go ahead and take a look at both examples. So I'm going to go to this existing order, and this is one that was created using the new order wizard. And we can see under the email tab on the left-hand side, under the auto-scheduled email, this shows you all the emails that have been created. And so it has the pre-inspection agreement link, and this includes the link and a separate payment link and all the information. And then there's a separate one for report uploaded. And this shows you how it's going to appear to the customer when a report is uploaded. Now, by default, they're going to be set to auto send. So when the action occurs, such as when the report is uploaded, it's going to send a link to the customer to view the report. If the email has been sent, you'll see the time and date of when it was sent. And if it bounces back, such as for an invalid email address, you'll see an error here with next to the 2 for which email address it had an error on. We can go to the email history, and this shows you also any emails that have been sent as well. If you need to resend an email or send it to somebody else, you can always click on the resend button, and this allows you to see the email exactly as it was, and you could make changes, such as if you wanted to send it to an additional agent or another recipient, you can type in the email address of that person, click on add new email, and that adds them in as a recipient. You do also have the option to include the invoice if for the payments that have been made, if those exist. You can also customize the body of the email that's going to be sent. Once this is done, you click on resend, and this will send the email out. And it does want you to double check that you're wanting to do that. Thank you for watching this tutorial. To recap, the emails within HIP Office Lite allow you to send automated emails to communicate with your customers. The emails can be customized with the wording you prefer, as well as using variables to populate the actual values of the email. With the HIP Office Lite system, you're able to send emails for when the inspections are created and when the reports are delivered. If you're using the full HIP Office system, there are many more triggers that can be used for every event within the course of your inspections. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Home Inspector Pro Support via phone, email, or chat. Have a good day.